Oh, I just deleted all my notes. Shout out to the Israel Stephen Curry. If you know, you know.
Just had a fucking phone call with YK for an hour. He said, "Mashallah, my brother, you deserve this, now it's in your power." It weren't that long ago when I had no hot water, I couldn't use my shower. So I don't know why the fuck, when I'm making rumors up, you look sour.
What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Chris. Welcome back to Game Chat. Today we're doing buy or sell NBA edition. So I'll just kind of explain how this is gonna work. Basically, me and Declan have our own takes, kind of like hot take sort of thing, like a little bit outlandish. We're gonna say it. We're gonna explain why the opposite person. So if I'm saying it, why Declan should buy this take, kind of like a sales pitch, and then he's gonna decide to buy or sell it. And yeah, that's basically the whole point of the video.
All right, so 15 likes on this video. You got a part 2 like next week after I recover from my mouth surgery. Also, it's my birthday, so I think we should gain 69 subs. So yeah, let's get into the video.
We both have 4 of these, so yeah. I'll start. My first one is this is very interesting. Kawhi Leonard will sign with the Atlanta Hawks, and John Collins will be sent to the Clippers in a sign-and trade. Now, the reason I believe this will happen, Kawhi apparently is unhappy in LA, and like he's not getting along. He's being honestly a bit of a baby from the didn't handle his injury well because he just does stuff like this. He was doing the same thing in San Antonio, and I think he's going to be gone, and I think Atlanta is the perfect team. You saw what DeAndre Hunter could do with Trae Young. Imagine what Kawhi Leonard could do with Trae Young. And and then the Clippers getting John Collins, kind of like a consolation prize. He's a free agent too, so it's kind of like when the Celtics swapped Terry Rozier for Kemba Walker.
I'm gonna buy that take to a certain extent. I think that there is a possibility, but I don't think it'd be John Collins getting moved. I think it'd be the mini or the young Kawhi Leonard, DeAndre Hunter being moved. I just think that they'll be looking for another small forward because they've got PG running.
I assumed money-wise, they'd probably send Collins. They probably have to release his cap hold to sign Kawhi.
Well, I think what could happen is because the Clippers aren't the Clippers like up near the salary cap. So if you get DeAndre Hunter,
they have to take on Bogdan too.
Yeah, so if you move on from DeAndre Hunter, there's $8 million or so because he was a top 5 pick, 4 I think. No, he was 6, right? Yeah. That releases a fair bit of cap. But I
probably have to send a pick over if you're doing it like that. Let them get some draft capital back. Yeah. Anyway, do you want to do your first take?
Yeah, I strongly believe in this one. I think he might already be there. Russell Westbrook will end up a top 3 point guard of all time, just behind Steph Curry and Magic.
I'm selling that.
I personally think that he's better than Isaiah Thomas and John Stockton, who are my other 2 in the top 5.
If he wins a championship, I'll put him in my top 5.
You don't have him in your top 5?
Nope.
So what's your top 5 then?
Magic.
Yeah.
Curry.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of hesitant to put Curry at 2 still. Isaiah Thomas. John Stockton. Big O.
There's no way you got Oscar Robertson over.
Wait, no, I'm forgetting someone.
You're forgetting Russell Westbrook. That's what you're forgetting. You can't have Oscar Robertson above Russell Westbrook. You can't.
Yeah, that was my
the reason Oscar Robertson is that high is because of his unbeatable triple-double average season. Russell Westbrook did that 3 years in a row.
Sorry, Chris Paul.
Chris Paul above Russell Westbrook.
Yes, I do. Chris Paul should have won 3 straight MVPs, or at least 2.
From when? From who do you think he would take
when he was in New Orleans?
Kobe over Kobe?
Yes.
Because I think wasn't that the year that people said that Dirk should have won that?
Fair enough.
Okay. I think my top 5. Well, I think I said it. I've got Magic, Curry, Russ, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, and then I've got Chris Paul just outside.
You don't even you have John Stockton over Chris Paul, man.
Well, I've got John Stockton at 5, and then I continue to say I have Chris Paul at 6.
Okay, all right.
What's
so? I'm selling that. I'm not buying it. No.
Well,
So
you can't-
basically, my next one is Bradley Beal will be a Celtic on opening day of 2022. The reason I have this as my take is because everything the Celtics are doing with the cap is either resolving two options. Number one, I was listening to a podcast they were talking about. Number one is either going to be they're going to let like Romeo and all those young guys play, and then they're going to decide if they can be quality role players on their team. And if not, they're just going to go balls to the wall, not bring back Rob and sign Bradley Beal. Reason I think Bradley Beal could go to the Celtics is because him and Tatum are best friends. They always wanted to play together, they said, and they never were able to because there's like a 3 or 4 year age difference between them, and they have enough money to sign the max. And Tatum and Bradley Beal are currently continuing to bond on Team USA.
You know what? Because he's a free agent, not next year, but the year after, right? He's got 2 years left, Bradley Beal?
Next year, he has a player option for 36, but he's not taking that most likely. Unless him and Russ go on like a run.
I mean, listen, to decline a $36 million player option, I think it's kind of tough.
But if he can go out and get like 40, or if he wants to win, because he'll be 30 by then.
I don't think
Or
you're getting.
29.
I don't think Bradley Beal's the type of person to get 40 million. You know what? I've always heard about the Bradley Beal babysitting Jason Tatum growing up, that stuff. Maybe if Jason Tatum starts getting frustrated with Boston, I can see it maybe happening.
I just think all the stars align, because if Bradley becomes a free agent, where else is he going to go?
It does. I'm going to be a risky dude here and buy it. Do I think it's going to go up?
2-2, baby.
I don't think it's going to go up. I don't think my stock is going to go up. I'm going to buy it because why not? Okay, this is kind of a two-parter, okay? Giannis is on track to be a top 15 player of all time, and if he gains more accolades, he will end up better than Kevin Durant all time. I believe this is true.
Like championships is accolades?
Like, I'm talking like championships, right? Because Kevin Durant has 1 MVP.
3?
I'm talking like 2 championships.
Okay.
I think that I would have I'd have Giannis over like Moses Malone. I'd probably have him ending up over. Listen, I can see Giannis getting to maybe 11 on the all-time
Do you
list.
think he'll surpass Kevin Garnett and Dirk?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Do you think he'll bump Barkley out of the top 5?
At the power forward spot? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I would
Be the
have.
second grade power forward ever?
Well, who would be number 1? Do they have Bill Russell? Do you have Bill Russell
Tim
at power forward? Oh, Tim Duncan. Okay. Yeah, I'd have him second greatest. I can see Giannis, if all the stars align, he could maybe crack top, like at 10. At 10. I can see him realistically. I can see him being anywhere from 12 to 10. Definitely think that this is a possibility. I think this is maybe even a sure thing.
This is a bit of a crazy one. If the Miami Heat are a top 4 seed next year, Bam Adebayo will be the MVP and Tyler Hero will be an All-Star. See the potential with Bam.
So the ceiling for Bam I see is like a 26 and 12 guy.
And 4, I think like 6 assists.
6 assists. I don't think I can see Bam getting into top 10 in voting, but I would have people like Luka. I could have Jokic. You know what? Maybe even Trae Young. Because I can see Trae Young.
I was thinking about doing this except for Trae Young.
Yeah, I can see Trae Young. I don't know about the Tyler Hero thing. I'm like pretty heavily invested into Tyler Hero. I have like 12.
Bounce back so hard, and the bandwagon is just going to get picked up again.
I'm gonna sell this take, but looking back on it next year, if the stock goes up,
Chris Rich.
maybe I'll try and reinvest in it before it's too late. Third one. Lonzo Ball will be in contention for an all-star spot next year and can make an all-defensive team. If he goes back to the Pelicans, with Zion and Brandon Ingram and Lonzo averages like 17 and 12, because I think that's a possibility with him.
Okay, pause. That's like
Yep.
Steve Nash MVP numbers.
I'm just saying, I can see Lonzo doing 17 and 12.
I think he's going to the Knicks, and I think he'll be an all-star in the East. Next year, the Clippers will not have Kawhi, but they will still be a top 3 seed, and Paul George will be top 5 in MVP game.
I disagree. I'm gonna sell that one, and I'm not gonna reinvest into it, because unless there's a sign and trade that goes on with Kawhi, or just a trade in general, they go out and get more pieces with maybe the draft picks they achieve in that sign and trade. Paul George is the type of guy to average 28, 6, and 6, and become a maybe defensive player of the year candidate. It's just, what Paul George are you getting? Are you getting playoff Paul George? The 20.4 assist Paul George? Or are you getting top 3 MVP voting Paul George? If the Rockets get Mobley at 2 and John Wall bounces back to a 22 and 7 guy, the Rockets will bounce back and fight for a playoff spot.
Bro, that is my exact...
No way!